Yeah, hi there, and I am Michael Buckoff, the founder, owner, and the materials writer for the online TOEFL course, the 7-step system to pass the TOEFL IBT. And you made a comment over at my TOEFL IBT study guides webpage, so you have specific goals that you want to reach. You already know where you are, you know what you want to do, and you want to know what the best study plan is to help you. And that's exactly what I'm going to do right now. So in your situation, Faustin, you say my last TOEFL score was 81. So you have 19 points in the reading, you have 23 points in the listening, you have 20 points on the speaking, and 19 points on the writing. So your aim score is 93. So you want to get 3 points higher on the reading section by getting 22. You're already good with the listening. You need 21 on that. The speaking, you need to get 6 points higher there with a score of 26. And you also want to score higher on the writing section with a score of 24. You say, as you see, I just passed the listening part, so you want to use past tense there. Can you help me with an outline to pass the TOEFL IBT exam? And the answer is yes, I can. That's exactly what I want to do now in this particular video. So let's talk about some things now. Here's what you have to kind of figure as I give you suggestions. Number one, you want to be patient right now. You have some very high goals. You have a long ways to go here, so you have to make improvements in the reading, speaking, and writing sections of the exam, and your speaking and writing areas are a little bit low right now. Okay, so the first thing right now is get in the habit of reading every day for about 45 minutes. You can focus on newspapers, magazines, and longer books. Number two, you should also practice listening. Listening is your strong point, but I'm still going to recommend about 15 minutes a day you can practice listening. Now, in these first two cases, you're not using TOEFL books, you're not using my materials, you're choosing the materials you like. Now, for listening, if you need some ideas and don't have English TV, if you do have English TV, I'd recommend science, news, history, and documentary programs. Now, if you don't have that, you can use National Public Radio. You can also use TED Talks, and then you can use Randall's Cyber Listening Lab. Okay, now, as you do these first two things, you really need to focus on your note-taking. Trust me, this is absolutely critical to help you reach your TOEFL goals. I've interviewed dozens of students who have scored over 100 on the TOEFL IBT. Every single one of them took notes during the reading, the listening, speaking, and writing sections of the exam. They do. So note-taking is important. Now, as you do the note-taking on the reading here, and as you take notes on the listening passages, your notes in the beginning won't be complete. They might not even be accurate, but you'll get better in time. Trust me, you will get better at taking those notes. Now, of course, using those notes, here's what you want to do. You want to write 3 250-word summaries every week. That's 750 words that you're writing each week. This is very important. You're writing about the main and the most important supporting points of those reading and listening passages. Remember, this is ungraded writing. I'm not going to grade it or score it or anything like that, but trust me, this will really, really help you. A lot of students who prepare for the TOEFL have done it independently without any help at all. And then maybe when they need some advice, they might post some speaking and writing online for a TOEFL tutor. Now, in addition to doing the writing practice, you should also give maybe 3 60-second summaries each week also. It's important. You want to make sure that you record these. These need to be recorded voice responses, so you're practicing speaking about the reading and the listening passages. Now, these are my first 5 suggestions. So far, I haven't made any recommendations about my online TOEFL course, but now I want to talk about how you can go through the lessons in my online TOEFL course. So everything in this video here is giving you a study plan. And even right now, you should be taking notes. You should take notes on what I say in this video. That's also going to help you with your TOEFL academic English proficiencies. Now, in terms of my course, I mean, if we go back to what you have here, I just don't feel comfortable recommending a 30, 60, or 90-day TOEFL study plan for you, because the truth is, it may take you more than 3 months. It may take you up to 6 months of very consistent study over several months before you have your English skills where they need to be to get the score that you seek, because you want a really, really high score here. So you got to really seriously think about what you need to do here. Now, here's my recommendation. I have 7 sections in my online TOEFL course. I have vocabulary, pronunciation, grammar, listening, reading, writing, and speaking. The first thing you want to do, for the first 1 or 2 months, you should spend time in the vocabulary and the pronunciation sections of my course. This is what you want to do first. Now, if you can finish in less than 2 months, that's fine. If not, you need to stick and stay in this area until you have mastered the vocabulary and the pronunciation lessons. This is very, very important. And actually, let me put in here, I'm going to put one more section in here for you. I'm going to add grammar in here too. So this is for the first 1 to 2 months, or however long it takes you, master the vocabulary, pronunciation, and the grammar sections of my course. You want to make sure you're comfortable pronouncing American English. You want to make sure that you can acquire the 1,700 TOEFL words in the vocabulary section of my course, and you want to work very hard at taking the pretest in the grammar section of my course. You also take a pretest in the pronunciation area, and you want to master all those grammar lessons. So this is your first step, is to focus in those first 3 sections of my course. Now, the next thing, for the next 1 to 2 months, then you should be focusing in the listening and the reading areas of my course. Now, you don't need to spend as much time in the listening. You're just doing that to kind of maintain your English abilities right now. But I do have 40 listening practice tests that you can take in my online TOEFL course today. Start completing the lessons, start doing those practice tests, and really work hard in the reading section of my course. In the reading section of my course, I do have 70 different speed reading tests. It will help you improve your speed reading from 100 to 350 words per minute. This is very, very important for you, because if you can read faster, you will find that you will be able to concentrate and comprehend better when you're doing TOEFL academic reading passages. Now, then, once you've done everything that I'm telling you, if you've done these first 7 steps and you've been working in all these areas over a few months, now you're ready to focus in the writing. Maybe for the next 1 to 2 months, then you can focus on the writing and the speaking sections of my course. At this point, hopefully, you will now have the vocabulary, you'll have good pronunciation, you'll have good grammar, you've already practiced a lot with your reading and your writing, you've already been doing speaking, recorded speaking responses, you've already been doing writing practices and so on. So now you're ready to start posting writing and speaking practice tests for me. So at this point, when you do the writing and speaking practice test, I'll grade them, I'll comment on them, I'll give you comments in about 24 hours of your having completed them, or my teaching assistant will read or listen and comment on them and give you comments accordingly. So that's kind of how my online TOEFL course works. So hopefully once you get to this eighth part of your study plan, you will be ready and you'll feel confident when you start completing these writing and speaking practice tests. Now remember, I have 40 different independent writing practice tests. I have 43 integrated writing practice tests. I also have over 300 independent speaking practice tests. I have about 30 integrated speaking practice tests that you can start practicing, and you will get comments from me. Alright, so this is what we call your study plan. So my recommendation for you is you should be spending approximately about an hour to 2 hours each day following steps 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So steps 1 through 5, you're spending maybe 1 to 2 hours a day doing that. Now once you begin approaching steps 6, 7, and 8, you should be spending maybe another 1 to 2 hours every day. So then, I think if you can spend anywhere from 2 to 4 hours every day, you follow my study plan over a few months, you will begin to improve your academic English language abilities. You got to trust me here. I've been teaching TOEFL since 1994. I'm 49 years old now. I have seen everything. I've seen how students can improve their scores. And I've been teaching TOEFL online since about 2008. So I've been teaching TOEFL at the university, at California State University, for about 20 years. And then I went online in about 2008. So a lot of my students, they give me their TOEFL scores just like you. They tell me what their scores are right now. After they take the TOEFL, they also tell me what their scores are, and then I can figure out how long it takes for students to reach the goals they seek. So for you, you could be looking at anywhere from 3 to 6 months for you to reach your goal. And it's going to be a tough road. I'm telling you though, if you practice, if you can follow this plan, you will be able to reach your goals. Alright, so anyway, thank you very much for your comments, Falestine. It's good to hear from you. I appreciate your making comments on my website, and I'm confident you can improve your score from 81 to 93. You can get 26 on the speaking. You can get 24 on the writing. It'll take some practice. Hang in there, work hard. Remember, after you join my course, I will send you your username and your password, and once you become one of my students, anytime you have a question about anything in my course or your TOEFL study, you can send me an email. And maybe one last bit of recommendation that I can give you. Now remember that everything that I've done here is a suggestion. I'm giving you a suggestion of how you can reach your goal based on your specific situation. Once you become one of my students, you can use my online course however you want. You have complete access to all 700 of my vocabulary, pronunciation, grammar, listening, reading, writing, and speaking lessons. So you can do whatever you want, but I'm just giving you a recommendation of how you can use my course based on your specific situation. Okay? Now maybe one more thing I can add in here is if maybe after every month or two, if you get a little bit impatient and you want to mark your progress, you can take a full-length IBT practice test at my website. If you go to the 8th section of my course, you can learn about my full-length IBT practice test. And the main thing is if you take a practice test, several things are going to happen. Number one, you're going to get used to the format and the structure of the IBT test. Number two, you will be able to mark your progress and get a score, including your speaking and writing subtotals. And you will also develop the strength and stamina that you need to take a 5-hour-long English test. That's a long time. So it's important that you take some full-length IBT practice tests so you can get used to the difficulties of taking a 5-hour exam. Alright, so that's one more thing I'll put in there. Let's just call that point number 9 in your study plan. Alright, so you kind of see what we have here. So let's review again what I said one more time. So as I gave you some advice, I said you want to be reading every day for about 45 minutes. I also said you should practice listening for about 15 minutes every day. Now as you're doing that, I also said that you need to work on your note-taking skills, and then using your notes, you can write 3 250-word summaries each week. You can also give 3 60-second summaries each week, and I really emphasize that you want to record your voice when you do that. Now, number 6, I said you can then approach, actually you can do this at the same time you're doing this other practice. So step number 6 is for the first 1 or 2 months, you can complete the vocabulary, pronunciation, and grammar sections. Then, for the next 1 or 2 months, you can focus on the listening and the reading sections of my course. And then, for the next 1 or 2 months, you can do the writing and the speaking sections, and that's when you begin posting your writing and speaking practice tests for me to score. And of course, I said number 9 is maybe every 1 or 2 months, if you need to mark your progress to see how close you are to your goal, you can take full-length IBT practice tests. Alright, anyway, thank you very much, and all the best to your high-scoring TOEFL success.